From Durant, Oklahoma, this is Midwest Sports Saturday. Good afternoon, I'm Joey McWilliams. Glad to be with you on this Saturday. We are live from Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium. It is the home of the Southeastern Savage Storm volleyball team. Getting ready to play here in just a moment. 2 o'clock is first serve here from Durant as the Southeastern Savage Storm will be hosting the Austin College Kangaroos. Just across the Red River. It's Division II and Division III, a matchup that hasn't happened in a while, and these coaches are excited to have an opportunity to one another once again. I'm glad to be with you today. We're going to be talking volleyball and football as well on this Saturday. Lots, of course, to talk about. Hope that we can get it all in on the Saturday. And you know what? It's fun to have the life behind me that we have right now. The Kangaroos here in the dark jerseys. Southeastern's going to be in the white on the far end of the court. Let's get started with football. A full day of football in the NAIA. We start with the number 1 team in the country, Morningside, taking on Briar Cliff today. Briar Cliff coming off a big win over Jamestown, coming back, getting the victory. First one of the season for the Chargers. And for Morningside, this week the news came out that Coach Steve Ryan is going to be in the Hall of Fame this coming year. So congratulations, Coach Ryan. Why not? He's led the team to multiple national championships. So congratulations, Coach Ryan and the Mustangs football. Excuse me. Number 2 team in the country is Grandview. The Vikings, they're taking on Mid-America Nazarene today. Grandview 3-0. Pioneers are 2-1. Adrian Parsons doing well from the quarterback position. Of course, we've talked about Johnny Sullivan a number of times, leading the way for the Vikings. Lindsey Wilson at 2-0, taking on Cumberlands. It's the Mid-South opener for the number 3 team in the country, and the Blue Raiders are continuing to start well here in 2022. Number 4 Northwestern at Jamestown. The Jimmies have been the cardiac kids so far, couldn't pull off the comeback in week 3. Jamestown 2-1, Northwestern 1-1, bouncing back last week with a victory. Number 5 in the country in NAIA, Marion. And the Knights taking on St. Francis of Illinois, who lost in the week 1 matchup. 0-1, Marion 1-0. Marion 7-1 all time against the Fighting Saints. Number 6 Southwestern taking on St. Mary today. The Mound Builders are 2-1, St. Mary 1-1. It's number 7 Concordia. Cardinals are at Roosevelt. The Cardinals 1-1, get the bounce back victory last week, and they are on the road at Roosevelt 1-0. This is the first game of a 4-game road trip for Concordia. So the Cardinals getting ready to be the road warriors. Number 8 Ottawa, Arizona. A top 20 matchup, excuse me, as Ottawa at Texas Wesleyan today. Texas Wesleyan 3-0, and if you've been watching Midwest Sports Now, this is not a surprise. We expected the Rams to do well. The fighting Dalton Dales are taking care of business. Dalton Dale, the quarterback, leading the way, and for OUAZ 2-0. OUAZ all-time 3-0 versus Texas Wesleyan. This could be a big matchup, and of course playing the game at home. See how this all turns out. Number 9 Kansas Wesleyan 2-0, taking on and actually hosting number 22 Bethel. The Threshers. We were in Wichita, Kansas last week, and we saw the Threshers firsthand as they came away with a 28-16 victory at Friends. Bethel now against Kansas Wesleyan. The Coyotes have outscored their opponents 119-0 in their 2 games. Taking on Friends and Sterling, Kansas Wesleyan and Bethel, both teams co-champs last year along with Southwestern. Their 3 were at the top of the KCAC rankings. Georgetown has moved into the top 10 in the NAIA coaches poll. And the Tigers, they're taking on Faulkner today. Faulkner 1-1, Georgetown 2-0 in their first year under coach Chris Oliver. Number 11 Baker 2-1, getting a victory last week. And they are at Peru State today. Peru State 1-2. Baker is 11 time against Peru State, and they've won their last 11 contests. So I think we're going to switch microphones. We're going to switch microphones here and hope that this turns out all right. There we go. Number 12 Reinhardt at point today. Point 0-3, tough start to the season. The Eagles now 1-1, and they are on the road taking on Point. Number 13, Indiana Wesleyan 0-1 at Olivet Nazarene 0-1. Indiana Wesleyan 3-1 all time against Olivet Nazarene. Number 14 is Kaiser. Kaiser's 1-2 on the season. And you look at Kaiser and think, well, you see the record. If you don't know, and if you haven't followed the Seahawks this year, Kaiser 1-2. How are they still in the top 25 with a start like that? That's because they've been playing up every matchup. They took on the defending national runners-up in Valdosta State in Week 2, dropped that match, a close one. They were on the road at Mississippi College, Division II, also in the Gulf South Conference, fell last week. This week, they are on the road again at Lindenwood. Lindenwood is making the transition to Division II, or excuse me, to Division I. They were Division II, and the last year in Division II, they made the playoffs. So it's a Kaiser team that is definitely, this non-conference schedule has been very, very tough for them, and it doesn't get any easier today. Kaiser 1-2 on the road at Lindenwood. It is the third consecutive matchup, by the way, in which it's a first meeting, as this will be the first time that they've taken on Lindenwood. The game's going to be able to be watched on ESPN Plus if you're checking that out. Number 15, Benedictine at Clark today. Benedictine 3-0 against Clark. It was a 68-0 win in 2021. Clark, by the way, a program that is just in its fourth season now, 2-1 on the year. Only the second time that the Pride has had back-to-back wins, and also this is the first time in Clark program history in which the Pride has had a record above 500. So no easy task necessarily today for Benedictine, and they're on the road as well. So you may want to take that 68-0 win last year, do what you want to with it. We'll see how Clark responds today. Number 16, Bethel. The Wildcats from Tennessee are idle this week. They'll be on hosting Pikeville next Saturday, which is September 24th. College of Idaho today. College of Idaho 2-0 on the year, and they are at Southern Oregon 1-1 on the season. Southern Oregon owns an 11-8 record all time against College of Idaho. However, it's been 5 consecutive wins for College of Idaho coming into today's matchup. They've won 5 straight. Texas Wesleyan, we mentioned today, hosting OUAZ. Big matchup in the Sooner Athletic Conference, and I think throughout the top 20. Number 19, Montana Western, 2-1 on the year at Montana State Northern. 0-2 are the Lights, and Montana Western has won 12 consecutive games against Northern, some of them in the same season. Number 20, St. Francis of Indiana moves into the top 25. They're taking on Judson today. St. Francis 1-0, Judson 0-1. Number 21, Montana Tech, also moving into the top 25 this week. And the 2-0 Montana Tech hosting Rocky Mountain. Number 22, Bethel, we mentioned, at number 9, Kansas Wesleyan. Number 23, Midland. The Warriors are 3-0. We'll be talking about Warrior volleyball here in just a moment, but the Warriors are 3-0, doing it on the defensive side of the ball, and Midland is at Mount Marty today, 1-1 on the season. Second meeting all time. Mount Marty's program relatively new, and Midland won the last meeting 31-14. Number 24, Southeastern, the Fire, moving into the top 25 with a 3-0 record. They were going to take on Fort Lauderdale today. That's been a forfeit, and it's looking like Fort Lauderdale is forfeiting throughout the season. Southeastern, counting that as a win, will move to 4-0 and next be on the road next week at St. Thomas. Speaking of St. Thomas, the number 25 team in the country, 1-1, and they are hosting North American University. If you have a record on what North American University is, would love to know. Haven't been able to find that. So that's a look at the top 25 in the NAIA. Appreciate you all watching Midwest Sports Saturday today. We're going to continue talking about a little bit of football here as Southeastern volleyball is getting set to play behind me right now. Southeastern football on the road, 1-1 on the season at Weatherford, Oklahoma, in a Great American Conference matchup against Southwestern. Southeastern volleyball, we were talking about them. The Savage Storm, it's been a bit of a struggle this season, 1-12 overall, coming off a couple of Great American Conference losses this week, falling in 4 sets to Oklahoma Baptist on Thursday night. And we'll have a chance, we'll talk a little bit later on about Southeastern volleyball. For the Storm, Jaden James against Oklahoma Baptist, 8 kills, hit 400 on the night. And Jessica Harden, 8 kills as well for the Storm. Ruthie Forson, who is such a versatile player. She had 14 assists on the evening, but expect her to have a great stat line in so many different categories. 14 assists on the day. For Oklahoma Baptist, Derricka Frierson, 9 kills and 8 digs, and Macy Langford with 16 digs on the night. Let's look and go ahead and go to NAIA volleyball. We've been talking about NAIA football and volleyball. We do talk Division II football and volleyball as well. Just been a lot going on in the NAIA as late. If you're not following NAIA sports, you need to, because there are some great athletes and some great stories that take place on the NAIA level. Number one, we'll just give you a few things here really quickly. A new poll came out. We talked about that on Midwest Sports Now a couple of nights ago. And number one in the country, Midland, 13-2 now, after falling to Hastings right after that number one ranking was released. Came back, defeated Mount Marty 3-0 on Friday. For Midland, Lauren Williams leading the way with 11 kills. Talia Flores, 9 kills and 10 digs. And of course, Hope Leinbach, we've talked about her plenty of times, 40 assists on the day. Eastern Oregon, 13-1 now on the year, defeated Warner Pacific, swept Warner Pacific on Friday, today taking on Multnomah. Number 3, Marion. Marion in the top 5 in both football and volleyball. The Knights are in the number 3 position, and they have won 11 straight to open the year. 11-0, defeated Huntington on Friday, taking on Goshen in a Crossroads League match today. Number 4, Jamestown, 13-1, did not play this week. They will be playing today, and they are taking on, and they will be on the road at number 14, Dordt. There are a number of top 25 matchups today, some big matchups in NAIA volleyball to follow. That is just one of them, a top 15 matchup right there. Number 5, Missouri Baptist, the defending national champions. They are now 10-2 after defeating Division II Maryville earlier this week on Wednesday in 4 sets. They will next play on September 22nd. That is against William Woods, and that will be their American Midwest Conference opener. Number 6, Corbin, now 12-2, defeated Oregon Tech last night, and they are at number 17, Southern Oregon. Another big top 25 matchup today. Number 8, Concordia, as the Bulldogs are now, I skipped number 7, sorry, Red Raiders. Number 7, Northwestern. Northwestern fell on Wednesday night, and they are actually next to play Briar Cliff. That is September 21st. They lost to Dakota Wesleyan on Wednesday night. That was another top 20 matchup. So the Red Raiders, though, number 7, and they are at 10-3. Now Concordia. Sorry, Coach Bolt. Coach Bolt's Bulldogs are now 11-1. They are hosting the number 13 team in the country, another big GPAC matchup. This is College of St. Mary. College of St. Mary undefeated on the season. So a huge matchup today, this at Concordia. Number 9, Viterbo. The V-Hawks have been number 9 all year long. They are 11-5 now, defeated Waldorf on Thursday, swept the Warriors. Number 10, and this is another big matchup today, or yesterday actually, defeated Mid-America Christian 3-1, and that was yesterday. So Sagu is moving to 13-0 on the season. The Lions, led by Riley Burcham, 35 assists and 17 digs, 4 kills on the day, as Sagu went on the road and won at Moore against Mid-America Christian. They're on the road again today, and they're taking on USAO. List of some more of the top 25. Park at number 11, Indiana Wesleyan at number 12. We mentioned College of St. Mary at number 13, undefeated. Dordt is number 14. Bellevue, the Bruins, are number 15 in the country, and it is just another big day for college volleyball. We'll have scores and updates later tonight on Midwest Sportsnet, so please tune in for that. In the meantime, we look really quickly here at the Division II football schedule for the day. We talked about Southeastern. Of course, we're here in Durant, and so we talk about the Savage Storm wherever we happen to be. We're in GAC country. Southeastern on the road at Southwestern today, but also in the top 10. And notice this in the top 25. One other thing. There will likely be some upsets today in NAIA. There will likely be some upsets today in Division II, and one of the ways to know that is there are no top 25 matchups. So if you want to call an upset someone that is unranked defeating someone who is ranked, regardless of record or however you see those two programs, if that's your definition of an upset, an unranked team defeating a ranked team, then it's likely it could happen today. And it's no better day because there are no top 25 matchups today. All of the games that involve top 25 teams today will be against unranked teams. Ferris State, the #1 team in the country and defending national champions, the Bulldogs are idle this week, but they will be hosting 3-0 Waldorf, an NAIA school, next Saturday. #2, Northwest Missouri State, 2-0 on the year, and they are hosting Central Missouri. The Mules have had a struggle to start the season, so it's a tough place to pick up a win there in Maryville. We'll see how that turns out for them. #3, Grand Valley State, 2-0. Grand Valley State's had some big wins to open the season. They're taking on Lincoln from California today, an NAIA program, and this there are no numbers on this, but if there were numbers, it would be highly in favor of Grand Valley State. #4, Shepherd, the Rams are hosting California PA today. #5, Angelo State, also 2-0, defeated Colorado Mines in overtime last week. That was one of those big games. Colorado Mines has had, boy, you want to talk about a tough start to the schedule. They have definitely had that. And today, Angelo State is at Texas Permian Basin, a Lone Star Conference matchup. #6, West Florida, also idle today, a Gulf South matchup against Delta State next week. #7, Harding defeated this Southeastern Oklahoma team last week 38-13, and they are hosting Southern Arkansas today. #8, West Georgia defeated Morehouse 42-0 last week. They are at West Alabama today. And that was a big matchup last season. And we'll see how this turns out again today. West Alabama had a fine season in 2021, struggled to get past West Florida and West Georgia, so this is a big early season matchup there for the Tigers. #9, Newberry is at Emory and Henry today, and #10, Ouachita is at Arkansas Tech today. So let's look at the top 10 in Division II. Now we'll come back with some scores and talk about all of Division II football, all of NAIA football and volleyball and more. That is a little bit later tonight. We will do that from Studio B from Emerald Quest World Headquarters. In the meantime, well, Southeastern getting ready to go back to the locker room here one more time before they head out to take on Austin College. That is about 38 minutes from now. First serve here from Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium in Durant, Oklahoma. I want to give you all a shout out. Thank you very much for watching today. I appreciate that. And listen, if you have the opportunity, please take the time, like the videos and subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate that. We enjoy talking about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond. We do it many days throughout the week. We enjoy being on location. By the way, speaking of being on location, programming note, next week it will be an early start time for Midwest Sports Saturday as we will get things underway at 10 a.m. from Waxahachie, Texas, as we will be on site for Southwestern Assemblies of God and the Lions football game next Saturday. We'll talk more about that over the course of the week, but again, please take the time, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. We're enjoying bringing you lots of Division II and NAIA coverage in all sports. Right now, it's a lot of fun talking about football and volleyball. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. God bless you all. Have a great day.